Welcome to the Tea Podcast, bringing you the best in news, entertainment, celebrity gossip, social commentary, humor, and LGBTQ lifestyle. This podcast is part of the UrbanWire Media Network, where we shine the light on issues impacting the urban community. We are available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, and Stitcher.
C's Treats LLC is a decadent sweet shop that creates exquisite desserts for any occasion. Whether it be for an anniversary, birthday, special event, etc., C's Treats has you covered. C's Treats LLC uses the most freshest items and the best chocolates, caramels, and products in the world. Every bite of C's Treats will leave you wanting more. She's located on the west side of Indianapolis, and you can connect with her on social media. She's on Facebook and she's on Instagram. Reach out to her via email at cstreets38@gmail.com, or you can contact her at 317-664-2609.
My brothers and my sisters, as we head into the Thanksgiving holiday and the Christmas season, let us adhere to and govern ourselves as it relates to the principles of the law of reciprocity. Let me break it down to you in layman's terms with a few examples. Example 1, Shaniqua comes to the family Thanksgiving with 6 badass kids and her nothing-ass baby daddy who was out on parole, smelling like dank weed, mildew, and Hennessy. She brings no pop, no rolls, no plasticware, absolutely nothing. Yet she attempts to leave with a trunk full of plates containing leftovers. According to the law of reciprocity, this should not take place. Sorry, Shaniqua, but put those plates back. Example 2, Aunt Jackie picks the greens, she picks the KYs and cleans the KYs, bakes the sweet potato pies, makes the potato salad, and provides the off-brand Kroger Pops. She is entitled and has the first dibs over the leftovers. You latecomers and leeches will just have to wait your turn. In this example, we see how the law of reciprocity is supposed to work. In summary, in life we must give in order to receive. If someone is gracious enough to invite you to partake in the holiday festivities, the least you can do is be appreciative and not run game or take advantage. Happy holidays, season's greetings, or season's beatings. You choose.
All right, welcome to another edition of the T Podcast, where we bring you the best in commentary as it relates to LGBT lifestyle, social commentary, politics, and so much more. It's been a while since we've been on, but we are definitely back, and we are back for a pre-Thanksgiving episode. And as always, we do have Jonathan Crockett and Ethan Cripps with us again.
Hello.
Glad to be back.
And we're going to start off because we got a little bit of something in our cup. So we're going to start off with Jonathan to my right. Can you tell the people what you have and what you're sipping on this time?
This would be a concoction of grape juice and strawberry guava absolute vodka.
No, I think it's Svedka.
It's vodka.
Or Svedka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tomato.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's still good.
A concoction that was made up by yours truly.
By this one right here.
Yes. So.
By my better looking half.
Mixologist.
Yes.
Yes, our local mixologist.
So, Ethan, so what are you sipping on tonight?
Just drinking some apple bourbon on the rocks. You know, keeping it simple.
Ooh.
Come on, Miss Fancy Girl. Well, you know, we were having a little bit of holiday cheer in our cups, but we're going to talk about the holidays as far as making sure that your cheer is, you know, that you stay cheerful and not, spiteful. So we're going to talk about a little bit of how to approach the holidays as it relates to being around family, because I know a lot of times we're in toxic situations with family, and we're just going to give you a little tips and just kind of discuss how you can make the best out of the holidays without pulling your hair out. So we're going to talk about a little bit of that. We're going to talk about politics. We're going to talk about what's going on in the news as far as entertainment is concerned. So we're just going to talk about
all right, what's good, everybody? Hey, you know what? First of all, we got to start off with this right here. I want to know, can everybody hear me?
Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. So, Jonathan, we're going to start off with you. So what's been going on with you? I know the holidays is coming. What are you looking forward to as far as the holidays are concerned? What kind of advice could you give to people that are maybe going into the holidays? They may not have family, or they may not have friends. Like, what kind of advice would you give them if they're dealing with, just kind of making the best out of the holidays? What would you say to someone that's going through a lot this holiday season?
I would say reach out to people who love you. Your chosen family. So I will say that my folks moved back from Arizona to Indiana after 20 years, and I'll be spending the holidays with them just because I haven't done it in so long. And my parents and I don't see eye to eye, but I try to make the best out of sometimes an untenable situation. I know 20 years ago, it was probably a lot worse. There was a lot of fighting, anger, and people who say that they're right and they're not right. And so for those people who don't really have those family to rely on, reach out to the family that you've chosen.
Yeah.
That's really the only advice I can give.
Yeah.
Do you kind of feel that sometimes that we take too much stock into blood family versus those who are our chosen family? I mean, do you think sometimes we just think by default that we should just put up with family because they are quote unquote blood related, especially those that are in the LGBT community? Because luckily I have a very supportive family, but knowing a lot of people that don't have that support system, do you think a lot of times that we kind of put stock into people that are our blood family versus those who actually support us and they have been there more than our actual blood family?
Yes. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Those people who are blood family who don't align with my own values, I tend to stay away from them.
Yeah.
Because they're going to cause me grief. And I don't want grief in my life. I've dealt with a lot of it in the past, and I've gotten away from that, and I feel better about myself knowing that I have a partner who loves me and his family that loves me, and I love them back. And there's just a lot of people who are blood relatives that just don't see it that way.
Oh, wow. So, Ethan, what are some things, well, first of all, how have you been?
Good. Okay.
That's good. And I know that you're going to go visit your family too. What advice would you give to anyone that's going through that, through that scenario where they're feeling like they're obligated to deal with their family during the holiday season, but that relationship and that bond isn't there? Like, what tips would you give to kind of get through the holiday season?
Well, something that I've learned in my past, just you can't change. Sometimes you can change minds, but sometimes when generations clash, it just does not register. Like you think that somebody's listening to an opinion you have or something that you want to tell them just based off of your own lifestyle, off of your own beliefs, and you statistically you could be correct and it just won't change their mind at all. Because I know there are a couple members of my family, because like growing up we've always been blue values, democratic believing, and then it's just gone far red in the last in the last few years of my life. It's astonishing just the amount of change that's happened. And my advice, especially for people who are used to that, who know what they're gonna walk into visiting family, who know that there are specific relatives that they could be getting into like a verbal altercation with, regardless of immediate or otherwise, it's not worth the battle in the end. It's like you gotta let things go, grit your teeth, just bite down on your tongue and just let certain things go. Because like I said, you can talk, even members of your own family, your friends, you can talk to them until they're blue in the face and they just will not budge on anything.
Right.
So just for your own mental health, just let things slide off. You're honestly, we're all there. Yeah, we're all there. We're all gathered together. The number one thing that everybody says that they're looking forward to in the holidays is the good food, and that's it. Good. If you're from a certain state and that you like the weather, that's good too. But that's, for me, that's what I'm looking forward to, number one. So yeah.
Well, there's an article that is written by a website, overcomingtoxicpeople.com, and we're just gonna give some quick resolutions or ideas that you can, kind of take with you during the holiday season to get through those tough times. Honestly, I feel like at a certain point in your life, I mean, if you feel like you absolutely have to deal with these family members, you got to do what you have to do. But I just feel like at a certain point in your life, you should be able to kind of shake the dust off your feet and just move on. Because why deal with people that aren't doing anything, especially if they're not doing anything for you. Like, why subjugate yourself to that level of abuse with people that aren't really feeling you? Like, they don't accept you, they don't care about you, so why subjugate yourself to that? But for those that absolutely have to deal with family members, here's a few tips from overcomingtoxicpeople.com. These are some of the things that they say you can do. Number one, you can be a beacon of light in a toxic situation in your family. Number two, focus on what you want out of the holiday. So what I take from that is, if you want peace, if you want resolution with your family, you got to focus on that. Don't go in with a negative mindset. Don't go in on the defense, and just automatically assuming the worst. Number three, practice empathizing with toxic family members' past experiences. I guess that's a good thing to keep in mind, because in families there is a lot of trauma, unspoken, a lot of things that are being swept under the rug, because there's a lot of families, especially here in the Midwest, in the Bible Belt, especially down south, a lot of people are very traditional. They don't feel that you should be advertising, your family business in the street. You shouldn't be talking about it. You should just suck it up, deal with it, deal with people that have mental illness, people that have character flaws, deal with narcissistic people, and they just use the excuse, well, these people are just who they are, we just have to deal with it. So in a way I kind of agree with this, but in another way it's just like, why are we empathizing with toxic people? But another tip that they give is have a place and routine where you can recuperate. Again, this is if you feel like you have to deal with these people, because why subjugate yourself to that abuse? If you feel like you have to go through all this where you have to recuperate, then why even subject yourself to these types of people? And I mean, that could mess with your mental health, your physical health. So I mean, that's another one. I don't know, subjective. The next one is, be proud if you can move the energy in a positive direction. So if you can, that's wonderful. Like, if you can make a resolve, if you can get to that point to where there is that positive resolution, that's wonderful. But I think a lot of times, a lot of toxic characteristics and things that are going on in families, you really need to seek professional help. That's if you choose to salvage that relationship. And finally, we're going to go to the last one, and separate yourself from the craziness of toxic people without withholding love. And to me, I feel like that is actually a really good one. You can love people from a distance. That doesn't mean you have to hate them, but you sometimes, in order to protect your sanity and peace of mind, you have to remove yourself from these people. You know what I mean? So those are just some of the tips that we can deal with, especially those that are in the LGBT community. We are not all fortunate to have people that accept us for who we are.
Yes.
So you have to just make do, especially if you're in a situation to where you are sometimes dependent upon family. So that's just some of the tips. I didn't know if you guys had anything else that you wanted to add, but
I was just going to say, in regards to blood and family and stuff like that, like, you just because you're bound by that connection does not mean you need to keep it in your life, especially if it's something that weighs on your conscience, if it weighs on your mental health, if you know that it affects you in a negative way that is impeding on your life in general. One of the biggest things that, when I would get into, in the past, when I would get into discussions with my family, because they say that they accept me, they say that they love me for who I am, they say that, if, this is my lifestyle and they accept it, but then they go against that by, voting for, in politics, voting for things that would hurt me, supporting things that are against me, against the lifestyle and things like that. Like that's not love. That's not acceptance. Like I told my grandma, this is one of my favorite things that I said is you can't lead a double standard and preach acceptance. Like that's not reality. That's so backwards. And that's my 2 cents.
Wow.
I really like that last part, that you can love someone from a distance, which for me, I've been practicing that for a really long time. And I love my family, but yeah, it's that whole acceptance thing that I just want to echo your point, Ethan, that I don't seem to. It's like I have to accept them and what they do, and then they expect me to do what they do, and I don't want to do that because that's not me. They don't have to see what I do. They don't have to accept what I do.
And sometimes blood is not thicker than water.
No, it's not.
Definitely.
At all. Absolutely not.
And honestly, at the end of the day, it's their loss.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to be around me. They didn't want to see my struggle and whatnot. So, unfortunately, at the end of the day, I have to have my own family, my own friends.
And you have to do that for yourself. You have to separate that for yourself. You have to lead your own life, make your own family. And it's sad. It's sad that we're still, in this day and age, we're still coming to those conclusions, and we're still separating, and we're still losing loved ones over something like this. It's
old habits die hard.
Yeah. It's horrible.
Wonderful. I really hope that someone could take something from this segment, because I do feel that around this time of year, people do go through a lot of depression. A lot of people go through, especially a time of year where we've been told that we're supposed to feel, we're supposed to be happy, we're supposed to be grateful, we're supposed to be thankful, enjoy family, friends, and all that stuff. But for a lot of people, this is a really sad and depressing time of year for them, because a lot of people don't know how to deal with these situations. So hopefully someone can take something from this segment and maybe implement it into their lives. So I didn't know if you guys had anything that you saw in the news that you would like to discuss. I don't know who would want to go first, or anything that you would like to talk about in general.
Actually, before we move forward, you actually brought up a word, thankful. And because we are getting into the holidays, I just want to say that I am thankful for you, Seneca, being in my life for over 5 years. We are on the road to being husbands. I'm very thankful for that. Ethan, I'm very thankful for you. You've been a very strong friend, and I love you.
Love you too, and I'm glad that we've come together again. It's been short since my past has come between us, but now that it's being rekindled and we're stronger friends than we ever have, and I'm thankful for that.
Same.
Yeah. It's a lot that I'm thankful for. It's a lot that we all should be thankful for. It's so easy to focus on the negative, but like I said, I'm very thankful to have supportive friends, have a supportive partner, supportive family in general, because like I said earlier, we all don't have that. So I'm just really thankful for so many things that I have. Like I'm not the type of person, I don't like dealing with a lot of people, but the core group of people that I do have, the core family that I do have, I couldn't ask for better people in my life. So it's just a wonderful time of year just to reflect on the good rather than the bad, like, because there's someone that's always worse off than you. If you're able to talk, you're able to breathe, you're in your right mind, that is enough to be thankful for. So let's just keep that attitude of thankfulness. And like I said, it's up to you. You create your reality. If you don't want negative and toxic people in your circle or in your experience, you have the right to exclude those people out of your life. So I think a lot of times we can create our own reality, and we as adults, especially if you're paying your own bills, you're taking care of yourself, you don't have to put up with negative or toxic people.
Yes.
So we have to really keep that in mind, not only just during this time of year, but throughout the entire year. So we're going to move on to the world of politics. If you guys don't have anything else to discuss, or if you want to bring anything else up.
I mean, honestly, I haven't been paying a whole lot of attention, but
Yeah.
things that are going to come up, I'm going to share my opinion on. But
Yeah. As you guys know, we just went through the midterm elections, so that was a pretty interesting, thing.
Red wave to a red ripple.
and
Yes.
double standards just pouring out of the woodwork. It's
Exactly.
insane.
All the time.
So that's why I said, man, this was a very important election, and I think the people did come out, and they did let their voices be heard. There was a lot of things at stake for this particular election, and I think a lot of people took on that challenge and went out to the polls and voted. And I think that's what we have to do. We can't just sit by idly, especially since this is the LGBT based show. We as people in the LGBT community, there's a lot that's on the line currently as far as marriage equality and just our basic rights. Like there's some states where they're trying to go against our healthcare rights. You know what I mean? Something that is, you think is just a God-given right where you should have access to healthcare. There's certain states where they're trying to push against that, and that's very scary. So that's why you can't, and we've discussed this on this show before, no right is absolute. If it hasn't been heard by the Supreme Court, or if it makes it up to the Supreme Court, depending on their stances on things or how they interpret the law, things that we have taken for granted, those can be snatched from us. So we really can't assume that we are safe or we're in a comfortable situation. I know so many gay people that feel like they don't have to vote. They have their head stuck in the sand, and I just think that's very disgusting. Any community, like even in the black community, we have some people that feel like, oh, I'm gonna protest by not voting. I said, what is wrong with you? Especially in the midterm elections. Like, why would you sit out during a pivotal time, like especially this time in history? Why would you sit back and just allow these opposing parties to come in and potentially take your rights from you? You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Well, I would like to report on something that just happened this week. And this is from The Advocate, November 14th, by Trudy Ring. The U.S. Senate will vote this week on the Respect for Marriage Act, which would write marriage equality into federal law, Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said on Monday. Schumer made the announcement after a bipartisan group of senators agreed on the amendment to the bill aimed at allaying concerns about its effects on religious liberty.
Wow.
That's pretty big.
Very big. And isn't that like too that they're bringing up interracial marriage as well? They're
Absolutely.
tying that into. So like I said, there's a lot of things that's going to be coming up where they're going to be pushing these things up to the Supreme Court. Like even as far as affirmative action, I'm telling you, it's a lot that is at stake, and so many times we just have gotten comfortable to where we just feel that these things are just basic civil liberties, and they're not. These things can be challenged at the Supreme Court level. So that's why we have to follow politics. Don't get bamboozled by people that's telling you to sit things out, especially at a local level, because local politics it impacts your everyday life. You have to get involved. You have to know what's going on in your local government, because these people influence your life. They influence everything that's going on in your city and in your local government. So we can't sit by idly and just hide our heads in the sand and just be like, whatever, this doesn't impact me, because it will eventually, especially if you're a tax-paying citizen. You really need to know what's going on with your money. You need to know who's representing you. Even the prosecutor, I'm gonna give you a good example, like the prosecutor's race in Marion County. That was a very pivotal election, and luckily people did come out and vote in record numbers. Because you could have someone that's conservative that comes in and then attacks certain communities and change things around to where you just don't know. So you can't really just take advantage of the fact that, my vote's not going to count, and why should I get involved? You can't do that.
So I would like to add that what the Respect for Marriage Act will do is require the federal government to recognize a marriage between two individuals if the marriage was valid in the state where it was performed, and bar anyone acting under a state law from denying full faith and credit to a marriage based on the sex, race, ethnicity, or national origin of the spouses. Additionally, it would repeal the Defense of Marriage Act, which prevented the federal government from recognizing same-sex marriages and allowed states to refrain from recognizing those performed in other states. DOMA is unenforceable since its invalidation by the U.S. Supreme Court in the first part of 2013 and the second part of 2015, and remains part of the federal law.
Oh, wow.
So I just wanted to add that little bit, because I think that's very important.
Very important. Very important. So, Ethan, what do you feel about all of that?
Well, it's important. It's important to get word out there. It's important for people to march, and people have been going out in droves in support of their own beliefs and things like that. But in regards to just everything comes back to religion. Everything comes back to what you believe as far as that goes, and people invoke that to kind of further their agenda as far as their beliefs go. And I think that it's become so toxic, because a lot of people are, a lot of people don't know, but especially like newer generations and things like that, like people are moving away from religion because of that, because of the damaging effects that it has, but because religion has such hold of our government still. Just from that aspect, like leading government with religion. Like I said, like when times move forward and things change, like I have hope, I have optimism for the future with that, because we're leaning more towards like individual beliefs rather than just mainline religions. So I think that'll help a lot, in the future elections and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the fact that it's an us versus them mentality, but at the end of the day, those people who are against me get out and vote.
Yeah.
And they do it all the time, every single election cycle. And there's a lot of people on our side that would just rather sit out a voting cycle because they think, well, it doesn't do anything. No, it does. Voting really does do things. Yeah.
But the people who are on the lower, like, when you have one side that has more control, like, Republican Party, like a lot of Democrats, I feel, or a lot of, people who are in between also feel like it doesn't matter what they do, because, it's just going to lean towards that side anyway.
Right.
And that's also a problem.
Right. Yeah. Well, also I want to bring up with the midterm elections, I don't know if you guys paid attention, Trump has officially announced that he is running for 2024
2024 election, and there's been a lot of mixed reviews about his announcement. I had the unfortunate opportunity to listen to his rambling speech.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so but it was just one of those things you have to kind of hear. As much as it pains you to listen to the opposing side, you have to be aware of what's going on.
Yes.
And it's going to be very interesting for 2024. You have a lot of people in the Republican Party that feels like Donald Trump is not making the cut anymore. And listening to his speech, I see why. Like, he wasn't as radical, but I feel like I've heard a lot of schools of thought of why he wasn't as radical during this speech is because there's certain things going on where he has to kind of play the game right now. But it's really crazy that this individual is still delusional. There hasn't been any growth, any change. Like, this guy is really just it's sad. It's really sad. So I don't really even know what to say. To me, it was just like the biggest waste of about an hour that I actually sat there and listened to this individual that just took the credit for a lot of things that he had nothing to do with. It's really sad when even your own family does not even want to be involved with your campaign because they don't want the negative publicity, they don't want the drama, they don't want the stress, and a lot of people in his party are starting to turn their back on him because he is really giving them a bad name. Like even Candace Owens, I don't know if you guys heard about that. Like, him and Candace Owens have had a little bit of falling out going on and stuff like that. So it's just, to me, I feel like, and with her, that's just a mess right there. It just feels like selling your people out. There's no retirement plan in that. Like, it's just kind of funny that she still hasn't learned from people like Stacey Dash. She hasn't learned from people like Omarosa. Like, he does not care about you. He is using you as a tool. And it's just like, now you're seeing this negative side of this individual, and now you just, it's sad. It's really sad. This man has no loyalty to anybody. He even threw Mike Pence under the bus, and I have a very low opinion of Mike Pence. Like, those of you that don't know, we are based out of Indianapolis, and he used to be our former governor, and I just look at him, he's a shell of a man. Like, how he dealt with that whole January 6th situation, and he will not acknowledge the fact that Donald Trump threw him under the bus. And it's just disgusting that this man will not grow a set of cojones or balls or whatever you want to say, and just come out and say that, admit that you were thrown under the bus by Donald Trump. You know what I mean? So it's just really sad. There's a lot going on in the Republican Party. It's going to be very interesting in the upcoming months to see if anybody's going to try to, who's going to try to jump into this election. I don't know.
I really thought that the interview with Pence, I think it was George Stephanopoulos recently, I thought that was very interesting timing, especially after it's after the midterm elections and the Republicans didn't get that red wave that they thought that they were going to get.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he says, well, Trump put me and my family in danger. You can take that for what it's worth.
Right.
But I just find that whole thing suspect.
Mm-hmm.
Because and going back to Trump himself, I honestly don't know how things are going to go this time around. There's a lot of people that are turning on him. A lot in the Republican Party are turning on him. Fox News is turning on him. A lot of people in the evangelical circles are turning on him, and that's going to cause a huge rift.
Yeah.
Well,
and
he's going to bring a lot of stuff back to the table that he did in 2016. Like, and that's just going to cause a lot of waves, and like people already know what his values are, so that's not going to help him either.
Yeah. I honestly, yeah, I can't say one way or another who's going to be getting the nomination.
Well, for the listeners who didn't know this, his Twitter account has been restored thanks to Elon Musk. So that's gonna be great.
That's a joke.
Yeah.
I kind of want to get into that in a little bit, because it's like now with that whole situation with Twitter, that I wouldn't be surprised if Twitter is no longer a thing in the next year. Like, just the way that Elon Musk has came in and just decimated that, Twitter. It's just, it's really sad. It's really sad. Like, and a lot of people have lost their livelihood. A lot of people were laid off. It's just
Half the workforce.
Yeah, half the workforce.
The big change that I heard specifically with Twitter, Elon Musk comes in, it's affecting the code writers. The code writer, like, he's listed everything out, and he's only taking the top, which, logistically doesn't make any sense, because you got lower code writers that are doing specific things for the platform as well. So laying them off is just going to, like, light a candle and blow them up. Yeah. So, and Elon doesn't have a history with that. So he doesn't know how to make the right decisions based off of that. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, a lot going on. Did you guys hear that Nacy Pelosi has stepped down from the House Speaker
yes.
role, and she's doing that in efforts, according to her. She's doing that in hopes that she can make room for the younger generation to come in into the world of politics, especially as far as the Democratic Party or the Progressive Party is concerned. I think it's probably deeper than that, because a lot of stuff that's been going on in her personal life, especially with her husband, with that whole situation. Which that was
the
kind
attack.
That was very, very, very scary and very unfortunate.
Yes.
So I think, to me personally, I don't know, but I'm just reading between the lines. I feel like it has a lot to do with that, because now she's at that age now where she shouldn't have to deal with that, and her family is now being put in jeopardy. So there's probably other variables that kind of constitute why she is stepping down from that role. But there's an article by MSN that's kind of stating that, looking back on her track record, she has been a very vocal proponent for the LGBT community.
Yes.
And she has taken a stand for them historically. You know what I mean? There's 5 different cases that they outlined in this particular article. And one of them is that she was an early HIV advocate at the time when few politicians were. And anybody that has followed that, like, that knows about HIV, or that knows about that time during history, that very dark period in the LGBT community, there were a lot of politicians that wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. I guess they had the school of thought to where it was something that wasn't impacting them, so they didn't want to touch it. And that's how a lot of politicians are with several issues. Like, you even look at the crack epidemic, or look at like some of these situations that they felt that they were far removed from it, or certain things that impact certain populations, to where they can no longer contain it. And once it starts impacting their community, then all of a sudden they want to speak up and be a voice for that particular ill or whatever's going on at that time. So that's one instance that she was an advocate. She was also being a very vocal advocate for marriage equality over a decade before the Democratic president even mentioned it. So she was pretty much out there speaking out on these issues, even before it was popular to do so. Another time that she has been an advocate for the LGBT community is that she oversaw the passage of the first 2 major LGBTQ equality bills. Number 4, she stood up to Donald Trump attacks on transgender rights. And this was specifically in 2019 when Speaker Pelosi not only did Speaker Pelosi hang a trans flag outside her office in 2019, she joined the other congressional lawmakers who did so to show solidarity despite the then President Donald Trump's repeated attacks on the community. So she has also been a very big advocate on trans rights. And number 5, she has got the House to support LGBTQ rights time and time again, even when the Senate wouldn't cooperate. So these are the people that we need to be paying attention to. Hopefully whoever takes the mantle after she, now that she has stepped down, hopefully they will continue the work and the LGBT community. So that comes to where we have to know who these people are that are being voted into office, so we can make sure that whoever takes her place is continuing the work that she started.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's just something that I just wanted to bring up.
Okay.
Yep. So, moving on, let's see what else is going on. The Griot did a article discussing Trump's run for president and how it is pretty much being seen as a threat to Black and LGBT communities. Again, we have to know who is in office. We have to know their stances on things, and we have to get out here and vote. I think another thing that we have to do too as a community is make sure we're just not blindly voting for somebody because they're in a particular office, because you have a lot of times too, there are people that come to your community to get your vote, and then after they get into office, they do nothing for your community. So you can't just assume because someone is with a certain political affiliation that they're going to do the work for your community. So, but then again, when you have someone that is vocal against your community, you have to make sure that person doesn't get voted in as well. So there's a lot of work that we have to do as a community in between now and the 2024 elections to make sure that we do not have people being voted into office that oppose our lifestyles or who we are as individuals. So
yes.
Yep. Yeah. So we're gonna move on to Grammy nominations. As you guys know, the Grammys have released the nominations for 2023, and we're just gonna go over a couple of them. We're not gonna really go over all the categories because there's just so many of them. But let me pull up my list. The Grammy nominations for this year, and this is coming from CNN.com. There is a list of people. Record of the year, there is a toss-up between Adele. She has a song out, Easy on Me. Beyonce, Break My Soul, which is a very classic album that outlines the struggles and the history of the LGBT community. Good Morning Gorgeous by Mary J. Blige. Woman by Doja Cat. Bad Habit by Steve Lacy. The Heart Part 5, Kendrick Lamar. About Damn Time by Lizzo. As It Was by Harry Styles. And also You and Me on the Rock by Brandy Carly featuring Lucius. So that's going to be a really tight category right there. Song of the Year. Some of these songs I haven't even heard of, but honey, I don't follow the scene like I used to. Lizzo has a song out, About Damn Time. I'm just gonna go down some of the people that I recognize. Break My Soul by Beyonce. Easy on Me by Adele. God Did by Tariq Azouz. The Heart Part 5, Jake Kosick, and Just Like That by Bonnie Raitt. So that is it. And then the album of the year, we have contenders such as The Renaissance by Beyonce again. Lizzo, she has her album out by the title of Special. Harry's House by Harry Styles. These other people I'm not really sure. Mary J. Blige, she has a
I haven't even heard that one from Mary J. Blige.
Yeah, Good Morning Gorgeous. I've heard it. Yeah, a lot of people recognize, kind of use that terminology. Use Good Morning Gorgeous, and but yeah, there's a lot of new artists there this year. There's some people that I haven't heard of: Anita, Amar Apollo, Domi and JD Beck, Mooney Long, Samara Joy, Lotto, which I've heard of Lotto. Manskin, Toby McGuire, Molly Tuttle.
Toby McGuire?
I mean, Toby.
Maniskin. I like Maniskin.
No, Toby Nguigi. Oh no, I said McGuire. Lord have mercy. Hooked on phonics. Wet lag. There's several categories, and you can go look at these categories. There's, just tons of people. The R&B category, I don't even recognize any of these people. Like, R&B is just like really a dying art form. It's not the same as,
and it's evolved a lot recently.
Yeah, I will say that.
Yeah.
The only person that I really recognize is Jasmine Sullivan and PJ Morton, which I really think those are two talented artists. But these other people I have not heard of. So you can go on CNN.com. They have that, have those categories listed. They have the best rock, best country album, even down to the best gospel album. So that's going to be very interesting to see who wins those nominations this year.
I feel lame.
I do too.
I haven't heard of a lot of these.
A lot of the songs that come out either blow up on TikTok or something, and that's where I really hear them from. So like the ones that Seneca was listening out, I was like, yep.
Because I'm like, I don't listen to the radio anymore.
Yeah. I think that's a lot of people that are into that. I can't even tell you the last time I have listened to even basic FM radio, like our local R&B and hip hop station. I can't even tell you the last time I turned that on. Like, with YouTube now and so many other platforms, like you can listen to, you can do, it's I don't even know of many people that listen to traditional radio anymore. Like it's, yeah.
I'm really surprised ABBA has made a comeback.
I feel like a lot of artists are making comebacks, making different renditions of their song, like Elton John. Like he came out with that "Hold Me Closer" with Britney Spears. I love that song.
That's a good song.
I absolutely love it.
I will definitely say, like, as far as Elton John, he has definitely stood the test of time. Like he has been able to stay relevant for I don't even know how many years he's been in the music industry, but he has been able to maintain like he's been able to maintain some sort of relevance for many years. So there are artists that can still do it, you know what I mean? But it's one of those industries, you have to stay on top of the trends, you have to stay relevant, and even
Madonna's trying to reinvent herself in her 60s.
Yeah.
Gonna go to 7.
And Cher's still going at it too.
Ooh, y'all see that? Girl, did y'all see that? She got her little young thing now, baby.
Oh yeah.
She's pulling the youth out of that thing. And I'm trying to be PG-13 on this, but baby, she's sucking the youth out of that thing, and she's sucking some other things out of that thing. But yeah, there's some people that's been calling her out, and I can't remember who the artist was, but they were calling her out. So I guess they feel that, well, you're trying to just use these young black guys and this, that, and the other. I'm like, child, I ain't got time for it. Like, if she want to suck on some young black peen, let her suck on the young black peens. I'm pretty sure he's getting something out of the deal too. So he ain't some unwilling participant that ain't getting nothing out of the deal. So if she wants to go after these young men and she wants to,
Amen.
yeah, just let her go on ahead and
That's
do
right.
it.
I'll drink to that.
Yes. So, but I will say this though. Did y'all hear that? And I was skimming through the article. I seen that R. Kelly is.
Oh, no.
Yes, but they said some of them cases might get thrown out.
Really?
Yes. Some of them cases
Really?
in Chicago. So I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We're gonna do an update on that on the next show. But I was just reading through the some of the headlines, and a couple of them were alluding to that. Like, but I don't know if he's gonna walk free or because he has cases in other states. So maybe it's just those might get thrown out. I don't know, but yeah. So.
That's got to be on a technicality.
Yeah, probably something like that. Yeah. So, but
I didn't hear about that either.
yeah. Trying to see what else is going on in the news. As y'all know, Kanye West, he's going down. They say he done lost his endorsement from Adidas, so he's just, I don't know. I don't really know what's going on. I don't know if the industry is driving him crazy, if he's seeing things in the industry. I just don't know, but it's just like nobody is around him that is pulling him to the side and telling him, look, dude, you need to shut your mouth because you are losing everything. You know what I mean? And you know the industry that you're in, they will build you up and tear you down. And you messing around with these powerful people, don't be surprised if you will find him dead somewhere. Like, you have to really be careful when you are in the industry and you're speaking up or speaking out against the powers that be. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things, you know, it's crazy. It's really crazy.
I don't know if y'all saw that GIF or that meme that came out on Facebook. So it was like all on horseback. It was Trump, Putin, Mike, and then Kanye. We're all sitting shirtless on horseback. Somebody had made that and posted.
Man, it's crazy. It was something else I seen. Oh yeah, we've been losing a lot of artists lately. I know you guys heard about Aaron Carter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my
That was
God.
just very unfortunate that he had passed. It's really sad that these young people get in these industries and they don't really have people looking out for them. They get addicted to these drugs.
And the fans turn on them
Yes.
like crazy.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
And it doesn't help either that they don't really have family that's looking out for them. You know, the family is in there spending their money up. They're not making sure that they're staying on the straight and narrow. It's just really sad. And I think he was just a victim of, it was a perfect storm of different things. Like, you know what I mean? And it's just sad.
And throughout his youth, he had been dealing with just struggles with his mental health. And I was watching a snippet of like an E Entertainment video that they interviewed him for, and he was talking about how you know, when he was young and just getting popular, and how he did, like, on MTV, they had their MTV Cribs, and they were showing like the houses and stuff. Like, at the same time, his parents had just told him they were getting a divorce, and they told him, you still have to do the show.
Really?
You still have to do the show. Yeah. And he's bawling his eyes out, like, and like his struggles with addiction and all this stuff. And the fans turned on him. They turned on him, said that he was worthless, he should kill himself, and that he looked like he had HIV or AIDS.
Oh my God.
Just disgusting stuff.
Wow.
People are ruthless.
People are awful.
That's
and
why
that was
you
before Twitter.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's why you can't get caught up in this fame, because you look at, you know, the fame. You look at the, you know, all these fans and stuff. These fans are fickle. They'll love you today, and they'll be crying to crucify them tomorrow. You know what I mean? They'll crucify you tomorrow. So
Even over something really little.
little,
And then just sparks a fire, and then that's it.
yeah.
All of a sudden, your name is mud.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, and not only that, the whole situation with Takeoff from the Migos, that's just a very sad and unfortunate thing. Like this young talented artist has lost his life at the age of 28 over a senseless act of violence. So, It's just really sad. Like, those of you that don't know who Takeoff is, he is a part of a rap trio called the Migos, and one of the members of Migos is Cardi B's husband, and they're all related. They're all family and stuff like that. But there's been turmoil and just drama within that group for quite some time. But yeah. Takeoff lost his life down in Texas, Houston, I believe, and it was all due to like something that was just trivial. It wasn't even anything big. So there's a lot of speculation. There's a lot of rumors going on that hip hop artist and icon Jay Prince, their family had something to do with it. It's just a lot of things that are going on, and it's being speculated that that their family was supposed to be looking out for him, but there was some gunshots it was crazy. Just the situation, bottom line, it was a situation that shouldn't have taken place. You know what I mean? So, you know, our thoughts and prayers are with that family. Like, there's been a lot of young artists that have lost their lives this year. And, you know, that goes to show you that these people have real life problems. Don't think because these people are celebrities that they're making millions, that they don't have problems. You know, and a lot of people are living these lifestyles. Most of these artists are living these lifestyles, and they're not even about that life. You know, they're trying to uphold this image, this bad boy image, and, you know, they end up losing their lives behind that. You know what I mean? So, you know, anybody that's looking to get into the entertainment industry, or people that are just looking on the outside looking in, don't assume that these people haven't made, because there's a lot of stuff and there's a lot of things that are going on behind the scenes that we don't even understand, you know, that we don't know as the public. You know what I mean?
Do you think a lot of it's ego driven?
Definitely. I think it is ego driven. I think that's part of it.
What from what side though? Ego from the celebrity or from fans?
Both, but even amongst like the celebrities, like there's a lot of egos between them, a lot of jealousy. You have people that feel like they should be at where that person is, or they see that person got this fame, they got this notoriety, they have all this money and stuff, and jealousy creeps into that too. It's a lot of factors. It's not just one thing, you know. But all I can say is, like, these people, once you come up, you really need to change your circle. You need to be about your money and stay out of the foolishness. You know what I mean? Keep your nose clean.
And you gotta watch what you say too.
You do,
yeah. Especially on social media platforms. Right, absolutely.
Right. So, it's just unfortunate. Yeah. So, it was something else I wanted to talk about. We talked about Elon Musk. We talked about the LGBT community and the importance of us being politically involved. We talked about the Grammys. And there's another case I wanted to talk about. There's one more case I want to talk about before we get off the air. I just wanted to do a quick show tonight. We're a little bit over an hour tonight, but I just wanted to do a quick show. But there is a young lady, and I don't know if you guys have heard about that. It's now starting to hit the mainstream news. There was a young lady by, let me get her name right, or the name of Shanquella Robinson, and she went to Cabo, Mexico, like with some friends of hers that she thought they were her friends, but I feel like they were setting her up. They went to Cabo on a vacation. These are people she went to college with. These are people that her family knew. Like, it's just sad. She thought these people was her friends. They set her up. They beat her to death down there.
Golly.
And then they brought her belongings back and told her family, oh, well, she died of alcohol poisoning. And now a lot of stuff is coming out about how she was getting set up by these people. And it's a lot of things that are coming out. And then to the point to where a lot of these individuals that were involved, they have changed their numbers. They have fled. and moved to different states. It's just really sad. And her parents are really left with a lot of unanswered questions. But what we could take away from this situation is you really need to know who you're dealing with, because you have a lot of people that are jealous of you. There are a lot of people that are it's a lot of things that are going on, and we're going to follow this story because I'm just now really digging into the story. But a lot of the stories aren't adding up, and it's really going to be left up to the FBI to investigate this case, because this took place outside of the country in Mexico, and the Mexican authorities are acting like they don't really want to get involved in it. They don't care. You know what I mean? So, yeah, they have doxed these people. A lot of people have found out where these people have moved. A lot of them have shut down their social media sites. They have changed their phone numbers. And my thing is, if you didn't have anything to do with it, or if it wasn't foul play, why are you guys fleeing? Like, why are you closing down social media platforms? Why are you changing your numbers? So, like I said, like these young girls, they said they videotaped the girl getting beat. The girl didn't obviously want to fight back. You know, there was a lot of rumors. They said at first, was the girl transgender? She's not. Her family said she's not transgender. It's just a lot of rumors that have been coming out. So, like I would tell these young people, you better know who your friends are. You better know when you go out of town with people. You better know who you're dealing with.
Yes.
And I really feel that it was a setup. You know, one of the guys was on a Facebook Live. They was calling them out. There was a couple of interviews that were done by YouTube personalities, and these people are stupid. They get on these platforms and run their mouths, and they don't realize that this stuff could be used against them in the court of law in the future. So it's really sad. So that's just a precautionary tale that you have to have discernment when you're dealing with people, because everybody is not your friend. Everybody does not have your best interest in heart. And we can even apply that to the LGBT community, because there's a lot of fickle, fake people that act like they're your friends, but it's all about show. It's all about ego. It's all about, these people are very fake and shallow. So you have to look out for people like that. You were telling me about a situation, I don't know if you want to bring it up on the air, about a local drag queen in Indiana, and Terre Haute, about how in her passing, a lot of the people that were associated with her, none of them have came out and said, none of the drag people in the drag community here in Indianapolis have said anything about her passing. And do you have her name, like the name of the drag queen? Because I think we went to see
Marcy
Dupree. And it's a damn shame that y'all tired ass drag queens and people from the LGBT community, and I'm saying it, y'all people sit up here and y'all get in these clubs and it's all, sister, I love you, and hug each other and cry and do all this fake, well, I call it faggotry pageantry. Y'all do all this stuff, and then when the rubber meets the road, you guys aren't there for each other. Y'all are so fake and y'all are so phony, especially in the Indianapolis community. The gay community in Indianapolis is very phony. Y'all shallow, and then it just shows. You know what I mean? So it's sad that this woman has lost her life, and none of y'all have even came out and supported this woman. You know what I mean? Or this performer, I will say. You know, it's sad.
It's very sad. And it's hard. Sometimes it's just really hard to be associated with a lot of people in our own community.
Messy.
Who are very messy.
It's sad that it takes someone to die to find that out.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, it is.
That's why I tell y'all all the time, honey, I'm fine with my little close circle, my family, and my close group of friends. I don't need to be liked. I don't need to be recognized by a bunch of people. I don't need to be fake and be up in front of everybody's face and need all this approval, because the first time you say one little small thing, they'll be ready to crucify you. One thing that they don't agree with, because there's a couple of drag queens in Indianapolis, and I'm not gonna say no names, but y'all phony as hell. Y'all smile and tap dance, and y'all do all this stuff, but then I'll be looking in your comments, and the first time you say something that's slightly controversial, and it doesn't even have to be anything that's really controversial, all these people are turning on your ass. So it's like y'all sit up here and want all this approval from these people, and then, you know, at the end of the day, they don't give a damn about you. As long as you're saying and doing what they want you to do, then you in their good graces. But the moment you have a slightly opposing opinion, then they're ready to throw your behind under the bus. So it's just a precautionary tale.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, what can he say, honestly?
Nothing you can say.
I mean,
I have no words.
And Seneca laid it all out for us, like. And they don't know. They don't believe us. I mean, they won't. I mean, because it's just ignorance breeds ignorance, even in our own community.
It does.
It's crazy. Yeah. We can bring proof to the table, and they still won't. And they still won't listen, no matter who they are. Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So. But yeah, we just wanted to come to you guys and do a quick show. We haven't been on. We're gonna try to do a better job in doing regular shows, but we are back, and hopefully we can do another show before Christmas, and to bring out the to bring in the holidays and bring in the New Year. So
yeah,
you're gonna probably not hear from us though. Like, we're gonna try to do another show, but we got some things coming up, and we'll let you guys know in the future. But just some personal things that are going on. I don't want to spoil the good news yet, but we're in the process of doing some things right now. So we probably won't be doing shows as frequently until after the beginning of the year, I'm hoping.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really in a good space right now in life. Like I said, this is been a very good year for me. I can't speak for anybody else, but I feel like I've been very blessed, and it really feels good to reflect on the year during this time of year, during Thanksgiving. Like, there's so much that I'm thankful for. I don't know. I didn't know if you guys have any final words or anything that you want to bring up before we close out.
Well, I have another takeaway just from regards to family moving into the Thanksgiving season and Christmas. I mean, this might sound a little dark, but I mean, just because in regards to just family, just because your family birthed you and raised you for however long it took you to leave the nest does not mean that you have a ball and chain. Unless your family supports your life, supports your decisions, whether it's emotional support and or financial support, you have no use for them, honestly. Blood is not thicker than water. Blood can be watered down, blood can be turned into something else toxic, and it's not worth your mental health. It's not worth, in some cases, unfortunately, your physical health.
Wow.
And yeah, I want to encourage people, if you know it's something that's impending, that you know that it's going to be toxic, skip it. It. Move on, move forward, have a Friendsgiving, have a friend miss. Like, yeah. It's not
great
worth
idea.
It. It's not worth it.
And you can do that any time of the year. Don't let the holidays get you down. Exactly. If you want to get together with your friends, you can do that any time of the year.
Yep.
It's about loving and appreciating the people that are in your corner.
Yes.
And you don't need a special holiday or time of year to do that. And that's why I want to really drive that point home. Like, don't allow this time of the year to be the only time that you really show love and appreciation to people. Because I'm gonna tell you now, like, people are here today and they're gone tomorrow. People are checking out of here, and it's you just don't know. Like, if anything that we should be learning, especially with everything that has taken place in the past couple of years, we really need to realize that nobody's promised tomorrow. Like it's so many people that were here a year ago around this time of the year, like last year, and they're not here anymore. And it's not people that are older, it's people that are around our age. Like, you just don't know. So that's the thing. Like I said, just love the people around you that love you and appreciate you, you know. And like you said, if those people are your family, those are the people that you need to love and appreciate. You know what I mean? So that's all I have to say. That's all I got for you.
All I got to say is happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy Thanksgiving.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Actually, Ethan, it was your birthday.
It was my birthday.
Happy belated birthday.
Yeah,
it was in October, and yes, I didn't make it up. I didn't make it up here in time to spend it with you guys. I'm sorry. But
is that no Scorpio? Are you a Scorpio?
No, Libra.
Yeah. All right, man.
Yes.
And the viewers can interpret that however they want.
Right.
You know, whatever you read, it's the truth. That's who I am.
I ain't trying to be Miss Cleo or nothing. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to do all that now.
Well, this drink's really good.
Yes. I want to really thank everybody that has tuned in tonight, because I know this was a last minute show. We didn't really even promote this, but I just wanted to do a little something for the holidays, because I know typically I try to do something every year. Just depending on what's going on, doing some type of show. Like on the Urban Wire, we do some type of holiday show, whether it's a Christmas or pre-Christmas or pre-Thanksgiving show. So we just wanted to do a little something special for you guys. We are going to do better in doing regular shows and getting on the schedule. But, you know, with life, you know, life happens. So we just, you know, we try to do a production for y'all and give you what we can when we can. Anytime you want to get involved, feel free. Like anyone that wants to potentially be a commentator, let us know. You can contact us or contact me at seharris02@gmail.com or ucofw.indy@gmail.com. Also, we are on YouTube. Check us out. We have excerpts of our shows. We have commentaries. We have like videos stemming way back to 2008. So get on there. I'm telling you, we are approaching 2,000 subscribers. So just get on there and do that. We are also on all major platforms as far as our podcast is concerned. We are under the UrbanWire Media Network. Right now on our network, we have the UrbanWire and the T. So hopefully in the future we'll have more shows, which technically we have 3 shows. I do the weekend report sometimes if something comes up. So in between that we'll have documentaries come up, special reports or whatever. So get on there, get involved. Like I said, we're on YouTube, we're on Blog Talk Radio, but I have the podcast dispersed to all major platforms, so you can find us on there. Trying to think of what else is going on. We're going to be covering more events hopefully in the next year. This year we did a couple concert series. Patti LaBelle, we still have some of her clips on YouTube. We've had local gospel artists, Napoleon Williams, True Friends, True Praise. We have a performance from Ricky Dillard on there. So we're going to be having covering a lot more concerts. We're going to be doing interviews. We're going to be covering events. So 2023, we're going to definitely give you more. We're hoping to kind of partner with people. So maybe people out of state that want to join our family and, you know, report on things that's going on. Let us know. We're looking to also highlight different organizations that are making a difference in the area. We're going to be doing more educational stuff. A lot of people need to know what are the steps of buying a house. We're going to talk about that. We're going to just give you a lot more in 2023. So just waiting for some things to smooth out, and you'll be seeing a lot more in the upcoming year. So I don't know. Is that pretty much all you guys have?
I think that's it.
Yeah.
All right.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Right. Let's do a toast on here.
Yes. Love y'all.
Love you.
All righty.